is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of From the Tips. It's me, your boy Brian, always joined and just so happy to be in the presence of my co-host Rick Landis. How you doing, big guy?
You didn't listen to me at all there.
I
Did
did.
you
I
even
had
did
my
you even
eyes
see the
closed. I
cut?
had my eyes
Did you even
closed.
see the cut? I tried to do the cut thing
I had my
for the
eyes closed. I had to
so that
really
you
get
wouldn't.
down deep.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we might be getting a little bit long with the what. So I was trying to cut it a little. You know what I mean? So we don't have to listen to 30 minutes
I'm
of you.
trying to see
You're gonna
like
pass out one of these times.
one of these times I'm gonna pass right out. Episode over too. It's just that's it. That's the whole episode. You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
just keep going
Yeah, just
as
keep
best I can.
ripping.
Probably not that great because I'm really bad at talking to myself. Unless
It would be
no one's
really
listening,
funny to
but
watch that happen, though. It would be.
that would just not go well at all.
You say that, but I don't believe you. I feel like
I
it
can
would
talk
be.
to myself in solitude, but when other people are listening or I know other people can hear me, then I can't talk to myself
See,
anymore.
here's the thing: is technically you are talking to yourself in solitude right now, as we speak. No one is hearing any of this except for the two of us. Now, tomorrow, that's a different story.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know
Okay.
people are gonna hear it, so it's different.
You gotta trick your mind.
Not exactly how it works.
No, not at all.
I mean, I'm doing all right though. It's okay. The day was a little warm today, a little humid.
It was. I was
So
in my
that was
car
tough.
for lunch, and I was like, "My gosh, I can only
I
imagine the
was
struggle
having
you're having."
I was having a little bit of trouble breathing this morning. I'm not gonna lie. Like the air was very thick this morning, but
Yeah.
it just ended up being hot in the afternoon, so it ended up getting a little bit better.
Well, at least it did taper off a bit for you. But yeah, it
The
was very
humidity
hot.
did. Yeah, the humidity
Yeah,
definitely did, but it stayed very, very hot, unfortunately.
very hot up here in the northeastern states. What do we got for the old days of the week, my friend?
Well, today, the day before everybody's listening to this when we're recording on the 21st, it is actually the summer solstice. So happy summer,
Woo!
everybody. I know this is kind of going back in time, but you get a little insight into what we have to deal with because we talk about things on Monday and you guys hear about it on Tuesday. So it just doesn't make sense. For example, last week, there was a fight on the Corn Ferry Tour on Tuesday, so we didn't get to talk about it.
Totally
Maybe we'll
missed
bring it up later.
Totally missed it.
I'm sure everybody has already heard about it though, so we don't really necessarily need to talk about it unless Brian feels like he wants to.
I feel like we
Anyway,
got a loaded episode here, so if
we
it
do
comes
have
up,
a
it comes
loaded
up. But
episode. Basically, someone got sucker punched on the Corn Ferry Tour. That's all I really need to know. Go look
hysterical.
it up. It's so funny. Today, June 22nd, it is National Onion Ring Day. So go get yourself some onion rings.
What a day!
Yeah, it's a good day. It's tough. Onion rings are tough because I like onions, but sometimes the fried part is overdone. Like I want it to be like 80% onion, like 20% fried part. I just want it like an onion, basically.
I completely agree with you there. What's the beauty of onion rings is it made it socially acceptable to just eat onion.
Right?
But yeah, they go overboard with the breading. Now, if you have one of those onion rings that also have bacon and cheese in there, that's a totally different story. Totally different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's overdone with the breading. Like there's at least 80% breading to onion, if not 90% bread to onion. And at that point, why wouldn't I just get the mozzarella sticks? Why am I wasting my time?
Why would I not just get the melted cheese inside of it?
Exactly. You know, like
yeah, onion rings are like the vegetable version of deviled eggs. Like if you go up to someone and you're like, hey, would you want to eat 6 deviled eggs or 6 hard-boiled eggs right now? They'd be like, that's really weird. Why are you asking me that? But if you're like, hey, you want some deviled eggs, then you're just going to house a whole plate of it and not even ask questions.
Not even think twice either.
But onion rings are the same thing. If someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, you want this onion? And like, you want to just take a bite out of this onion like an apple? You're like, get away from me, weirdo. But then you're like, hey, I have this whole plate of onion rings here. They're fried pieces of onion. Do you want it? People most likely aren't going to say no.
Exactly.
So onion ring day. That was a very long-winded way to say it's onion ring day. June 23rd, we have probably one of the most important days of the year. That is National Hydration Day. So stay hydrated, everybody.
Hydration is key for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, hydration is key. That's kind of been my motto for the past few years. I drink a lot of water. That's my main liquid intake.
Well, Rick, you know what they say, hydrate or dihydrate. So
true.
Yeah.
Very true. I have a coworker that just like doesn't drink during the day. I don't understand how he does it.
Well, he's a psychopath, obviously.
I'm like downing like 2 gallons of water, and he's like, "Oh, maybe I should drink a water bottle right now." I'm like, "You're insane.
You're a crazy person.
I don't understand how you do this."
Now, however, do be careful, folks, because overhydration is a thing.
It is.
So be careful.
It's a myth.
Oh,
you good over there?
I'm trying to drink water. Oh goodness.
June 24th, National Handshake Day. So go make up a handshake if you don't have one, I guess.
True that. National Make a Handshake Day. We're gonna change
we'll
it.
say that. Make a
handshake day.
Make a handshake
there you go.
with someone. Try to avoid the whole like back and forth high five fist thing, because that's overused. Try to do something
way overused. Be original. Be original.
Now June 25th, we have National Take Your Dog to Work Day. Bring your dog to my work, preferably.
Love that.
That way I can hang out with your dog.
Love that all the time.
Why
do I feel like that? Like, why is this the first time I'm hearing about this? I think is my concern. This needs to be.
You hear that thunder?
Yeah.
It's coming.
Well, folks, if this episode ends up being shorter than we think, it's because our internet has left.
Just completely cut out.
Because there is a big storm brewing here. I'm assuming it's because of how humid today was.
That fair.
This is happening.
No, I'm no meteorologist, but
look, I'm no math magician by any means, but it looked like it's gonna rain. So yeah, we're forewarning you now.
Yeah,
just giving a fair warning,
just in case. June 26th, nothing really to talk about, but apparently June 27th. Okay, 2 days in the same week, we have an Onion Day. It's National Onion Day on June 27th. So this is pretty good.
I love the respect for the onions.
Yeah, onions are delicious and completely underrated. So go onions. And that's all I have.
Speaking of onions being underrated, I recently had a breakfast sandwich. It was a smoked salmon and cream cheese on an everything bagel. So it was a good amount of cream cheese, smoked salmon on it, and there was onions. And I was like, I feel like the onions like kind of don't have a place here because the cream cheese already takes care of like the kind of the creaminess factor. No, they were just regular like chopped, like little chopped onions, chopped onions, raw onions.
Interesting.
The onions arguably made the sandwich.
Interesting.
It was delicious.
The salmon and cream cheese is completely normal. That sounds great. I wouldn't think to put onions on it though.
Yeah. If you want one, go to Perky Joe's on 63. That's where they're at.
I found out where Perky Joe's was the other day. I was passing it. And I was like, hey, that's where Brian was talking about.
So close to my house. Like
close to your house.
I wish I started going there sooner, honestly.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. But also in more retroactive as far as dates are concerned, a happy belated Father's Day to all of those who observe it, I guess. A big happy Father's Day to friend of the podcast, Tom Reed. Happy Father's Day to you. Good friend of ours, and always go check out the Hacks Across America blog. They have an Instagram. I don't necessarily know. If you look up Hacks Across America, you're going to find it.
We follow them on our page, so just look for them there.
And in honor of said Father's Day, I do, in fact, have a dad joke for you.
I have a father.
I do. I have one of those.
Unfortunately, you would not be alive if you didn't have a father.
Exactly. I mean, it just would be impossible. But I do have a dad joke for you. All right. You ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready for it.
Why'd the bicycle fall over?
I don't know.
It was too tired.
That's a good one.
Oh, that one had to be like rolling today. That was I had never heard that one either, so it was relatively original.
That's good.
Oh yeah, that
dad jokes are the best.
Dad jokes are the best.
If anybody has any good dad jokes, send them our way. Brian and I love dad jokes.
Oh, that's what we should have done for this week's episode.
What, dad jokes?
Yeah, we should have asked on the story like supply us with your best dad jokes. Oh, that would have been so good. But speaking of dads, a very important dad won a very important tournament this weekend on the PGA Tour. Jon Rahm winning the U.S. Open with a total score of 6 under, shooting 4 under on Sunday alone.
He did it
to take home the victory.
We finally did it.
Yeah, we finally did it. I mean, folks, we were finally right about a call here.
And before anyone says, "Oh, Jon Rahm was the favorite," there was still dozens of golfers at this tournament. Just because he's the favorite doesn't mean he's going to win. The Sixers were a 1 seed. They're already out of the playoffs. We don't need to talk about that. Ben Simmons can do whatever. He might as well be. No one cares about him anymore in the city of Philadelphia. Get out of here, Ben Simmons. Afraid to take a shot. But yeah, we guessed it right. Jon Rahm won. I should have gone and bought a Callaway driver. I am regretting that aggressively at this point because I should have just gone and got an Epic driver.
Yep.
For those that don't know, a Callaway did this thing where if you bought a Callaway driver, when you bought it, you basically said who you think is going to win the U.S. Open as a Callaway. It has to be a Callaway athlete. And if they did win, they would reimburse you for the driver. So
it would have been a free driver.
Very aggressively regretting that right now because
that hurts.
If I could have a Callaway Epic driver in my bag at the moment, I think my game would be improved aggressively and tremendously.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that would work for anybody. Yeah. But yes, Jon Rahm, a Callaway guy, go Callaway, winning the U.S. Open, beating out the late push by a one Louis Oosthuizen, who we will talk about in a bit here because there was a bit of drama around his name there. But yeah, Rombo got the job done.
I love to see it.
I'm so happy that we came up with that name for him. Rombo is the man. Even cooler was that he wanted on Father's Day being a brand new dad as he and his wife Kelly just recently had their daughter, which is awesome. And then even cooler was Phil Mickelson on Sunday was out by the practice range, and he saw Kelly kind of like far away from John on the range, and he was like, no, like, come, let's be with your husband. We'll get you down range level. Come here. Phil carries a chair for him and Kelly, and they sit down at the range and watch John practice.
John hit some balls.
Watch John hit some balls.
I did.
I don't know if she signed up for that fireside chat, but
I don't know if she
got
it. But fireside with Phil.
Fireside with Phil. She got one.
A little improv there. I did want to give a little bit of a timeline real quick on the Jon Rahm story for those that are following along or maybe haven't been paying attention. Basically, 2 weeks ago, Jon Rahm tests positive for COVID after having a 6-stroke lead, has to withdraw from the tournament, is obviously devastated about this. In the 2 week span from then until the U.S. Open starts, Jon Rahm's parents finally get a chance to come over to the U.S. from Spain and get to meet John's daughter while John is not there, which I think is probably one of the most depressing things of all time.
Yeah, that hurts. That just hurts.
I think
to
if
hear.
I had a kid and my parents met the kid without me there, I think I'd be really upset about it.
Absolutely.
So felt really bad for him there. His post-round interview after he won was probably one of the most well-spoken post-round interviews I've seen in a long time. There's no way he planned it out, obviously, because with everything going on, you're not thinking about that. But just everything he was saying was so well-spoken. He was saying he's a huge believer in karma. All he was pretty much able to do with what he was given after having to withdraw 2 weeks ago was stay positive and be as positive as possible and just hope and think that things are going to look up for him in the near future. And I'm going to be honest, if I'm Jon Rahm, I am completely over 2 weeks ago. I don't care at all. Give me my U.S. Open. Being the first Spaniard to win the U.S. Open, winning my first major as a dad. Like, there's so many things to be happy for Jon Rahm in this situation. And obviously, we still feel bad for him for not winning 2 weeks ago. But to be completely honest, if he doesn't have to withdraw 2 weeks ago, I don't think he wins this tournament because he came in with probably one of the biggest chips on your shoulder that we've seen an athlete have in a long time after having to withdraw in that scenario. So props to Jon Rahm for holding on at the end there. 2 bomb putts on 17 and 18 to basically give him
absolutely incredible
the shot that he needed to take home the trophy. So power to you, Jon Rahm. Keep it up. He's going to keep winning. That's for sure.
Yeah. He like most others could have shot a 3 under or a 2 under instead of the 4 under it required for him to be in first place. And he would have had to go to a playoff with Louis Oosthuizen, who going into Sunday was 5 under. I mean, Louis could have won this. He could have.
He could have.
However,
He didn't
and
want to.
here's where we're going to get into the controversial bit here, folks. So Louis Oosthuizen, was this on 18 or was it on 17?
This was on 18.
It was on 18. So following up the bold line he took on 17 to shorten the par 4 and give himself an easy wedge on, that didn't work out at all. He would walked away with a bogey on 17, gets to 18, good drive in the fairway, whatever it is. Needs an eagle. Absolutely needs an eagle
to go into a playoff.
Not
even to win, just to go.
Not just to win, but you got to eagle to give yourself a shot at winning. He and his caddy confer with each other, as golfers often do.
He was about a foot off the short grass on his tee shot, just for reference.
And he decides to lay up on the par 5 18th because he thinks that he has a better chance of chipping in than getting on the green from what distance did he have?
I believe he was about 225
out. About 225.
Something around that.
This is one of the most confusing layups I've ever witnessed in my life. I'm dubbing it the Louis layup. And that. Rick, I got to ask you, what could have possibly come over him and his caddy to think that he needs an eagle and to lay up on that par 5?
I honestly have no idea. My issue with it is that he got a birdie. Okay, if you decide you're going to lay up and you get a par, whatever, you didn't really have a chance to begin with. You obviously had a chance to do what you needed to do. Okay, you have to get an eagle on this hole. He said it. He's a scoreboard watcher. He watches the scoreboard. He likes to know what's going on. So he obviously knew that Jon Rahm was at 6 under and he was at 4 under. He needed an eagle. He also knew that Harris English, who was in, I guess that would be 3rd at the time, was at 3 under. So you have a shot to spare. If you get a par on this hole, you still have 2nd. Mm-hmm. Okay, on a par 5, if you have about 200 yards into the hole and you shoot your 2nd shot into the water, you can still very easily get a par as a professional golfer in that scenario. So either way, you're either going to get an eagle and go into a playoff or you're going to get 2nd. Those are the two options here. I don't really understand where in the conferring process between him and his caddy, they decided that it was better for him to lay up and not take a chance at getting an eagle. I don't agree with what they said, that he has a better chance of holing out from the fairway as you do maybe hitting a chip from off the green or a putt. I don't agree with that at all. I don't care who you are as a golfer. I don't even care if you're Phil Mickelson in his prime. Maybe Phil Mickelson in his prime would be more confident doing that. But there's barely, and I could count on one hand probably the amount of golfers that I would feel comfortable with telling to hit a shot from the fairway and holing out rather than hitting a long putt or a chip from off the green to try to get what they needed to get. I just don't understand where in his brain he was at in this situation. I mean, you've never won this championship before. He has one major, I believe.
The Open, yes.
The Open. Mm-hmm. This could be your 2nd. Even, I mean, me personally, I'm a go for it all kind of guy. If I'm going to lose, I'm not going to lose by 1 stroke because I laid up. Mm-hmm. I'm going to lose by multiple strokes because I tried to go for it and I hit it in the water or just hit a really bad shot. Like, to me, there's no reason that you don't go for the green in 2 here. There's absolutely no reason, no matter who you are. I don't care if you're an extremely short hitter like a Kevin Kisner or something like that, where you have to pull out like your 3-wood from this kind of rough. You hit that shot and you do the best you possibly can to hit that green in 2 because you need an eagle and you need an eagle. So why are you laying up and why do you think you have a better chance of hitting it from the fairway? I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And when you said you have 2 options, you basically either lay it up for that birdie or par, or you go for it for that eagle. He never gave himself the go for it option. His only 2 that he was going to get from laying up is that birdie or that par. He never even, it's like he never even gave eagle a thought in his mind, even though it was very doable for him to do it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me based on the circumstances of it being the US Open. Now, if this is just some round with your buddies or whatever, you're already in like the 110s and you just want to walk away with a par on 18 and feel better about yourself, go ahead, lay up, be my guest.
Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. But at the US Open, if you eagle, you have now gone to a playoff for first place. You go for the eagle. I feel like 100 times out of 100, you do that.
100 times out of 100. There's not a single time I'm not going for the green.
And I'm the layup guy. That's what I do. I'm
it's
the
for the
layup
US
guy.
Open. If you're playing for some, if you're playing like the John Deere Classic or like some random
hey, let's not hate on the John Deere here.
I'm gonna hate on the John Deere Classic. It's at a horrible time. It's a great tournament. It's just at a horrible time because it's after everything else that's happening. Because we have Travelers.
It's after all the cool stuff.
We have the Travelers, and then we have whatever's
the Rocket Mortgage.
The Rocket Mortgage. That's the two tournaments after the US Open. No one wants to go 4 weeks in a row to play the John Deere. Anyway, before I shit too much on the John Deere Classic. There's almost no scenario where in my brain, or even if my caddy's like, maybe we should lay up here, I'm firing them on the spot. Okay. You're not going to tell me that I'm laying up here. I'm going for it all. Like, I'm here to win. It's the US Open.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason that I don't want to win this. Why would I not go for eagle? If I hit it in the water and I even get a bogey and I tie for second, whatever. Like, at least I tried. I get like money and stuff like that, but Louis is a pretty big name, I believe, in South Africa. He's probably making plenty of money. I'm not really worried about the money that he's making. To me, I would go for the win. That's just who I am. Moral of the story here is if you're going to lay up, do it right. If he laid up in the fairway and you hold out, great. But he didn't.
But you didn't.
And another person who tried to lay up and just absolutely blew it, we're going to talk about next, Bryson DeChambeau. On, I think it was 11 when his blow up began. He laid up and he hit it into the rough again. Like, if you're gonna lay up, you gotta hit it into the fairway.
If you're going to lay up, it has to be fairway bound. Especially if you're professional. Now, if you're one of us schmucks,
yeah, so
easily understandable.
Bryson's in the lead at one point, and just the biggest blow up I've seen in recent golf history, especially as the defending US Open champ. Like, you're defending your title, you can't do what Bryson did. For those that don't know, Bryson went on 11, 12, 13, the holes that everybody was saying are going to decide this tournament. Okay, when Bryson's in first place, he gets to 11, 12, 13, he bogeys 11, hitting multiple horrible shots, goes into 12, bogeys 12. Okay, 2 bogeys, you can come back from that. I mean, everybody's playing horrible today. What's the worst thing that could happen? I mean, you could go on to 13 and shoot a quadruple bogey like Bryson did, and then just absolutely destroy every hope that you had of winning this tournament.
Yep.
I was very happy to see this happen. We were watching it at Gina's house. I was watching with her dad and Tommy, who we mentioned earlier, and Gina's dad just couldn't understand why Tommy and I hate Bryson so much. Which is fine. Like, if you don't understand it, that's fine. I'm not gonna.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
I'm gonna hate on anyone for not understanding why I don't like him. There's multiple reasons. The only time I have rooted this hard against somebody to do well in a tournament is when Patrick Reed is playing.
Ever.
Because I just don't like Patrick Reed either.
No.
I think at this point I have more legitimate reason to hate Bryson than I do Patrick Reed, but I still hate them both.
I'd be inclined to agree with you there. Yeah.
But as a Brooks Koepka fan, I was very happy to see him blow up, especially because Brooks didn't have the greatest Sunday ever. He did get T4, I think.
T4 for Brooks Koepka.
T4. So he shot -2 on the day. But again, at one point it was Bryson in first and Brooks in third, and everybody was losing their minds because we were like, oh my God, is this going to happen? Where we get a Bryson and a Brooks playoff at the US Open, which, by the way, would have been must-watch TV.
I wanted that so badly.
It would have been must-watch TV.
I wanted that so bad.
Unfortunately, we didn't get that because both Brooks and Bryson fell kind of off the wagon a little bit, as did a lot of people.
Yes.
But
the scores were low, and that's what you expect from the US Open. Arguably, I'd say the scores were a bit higher than I anticipated at the end there. I was expecting the winning score to be like a 3 under or a 2 under,
So you
something
mean
like
you mean
that.
it was lower than you expected?
Yeah, sorry, it was lower than I expected.
They were scoring higher, but
Yeah, scoring higher, shooting lower scores. You
Gotcha.
get what I'm saying, folks.
It's a little
I was
confusing.
expecting a 3 or a 2 under to be the winning score for this
Weren't too far
tournament.
off. -6, not great.
Not super far off, but still.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people had good days on Sunday. That's a lot of pluses I'm seeing here as I scroll down the leaderboard.
Oh yeah, a lot of pluses, especially from guys that were like in contention going into the day, shooting multiple pluses. Russell Henley led every single day and then shot +5 on Sunday. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Never want to see that. Matt Wolf was playing all right. He was 2 under going into the day, shot +3 to end up T15.
Justin Thomas, Kevin Streelman.
Yeah, like people just weren't playing that great. And it's how the U.S. Open rolls. Dustin Johnson.
Mackenzie Hughes, man.
Oh, yeah. I kind of feel bad for him, but at the same time, like, you got to earn it. He hasn't been in the mix at all in the past, like, 2 years. You can't just show up and win the U.S. Open. I knew that was going to happen. Same with him. Like, him and Russell Henley both. Like, neither of them are seasoned winners. Like, completely honestly, that's why Jon Rahm won. He has won multiple times on tour before. He knows how to win, and he knows how to handle the pressure of winning. And that's why he won. He's hit bomb putts repeatedly since he's joined the tour, including last year against Dustin Johnson. Never going to forget that one.
Ever.
Because that was just an amazing putt. And he had 2 of them again on 17 and 18 to kind of put himself where he needed to be.
Yeah. To keep talking about the Bryson thing a little bit here, Bryson, you could basically call what happened to him a blow up. However, he is refusing to call it a meltdown. In a post-round interview, he said, "I didn't go off the rails at all."
No.
People will say I did this or I did that, and it's just golf. I've had plenty of times where I hit it way worse than today, and I won. It's just one of those things where I didn't have the right breaks happen. Okay, now
a +4 is not getting the wrong breaks.
That's
getting
just
the wrong breaks.
Bad.
Getting the wrong breaks is a bogey. Like, yeah, that's what that is. Like, you hit a great tee shot, you get the wrong break, and you end up with a bogey on the hole. Not a +4. That's just playing horrible golf. That's not getting a bad break.
Buddy, it gets better, and you're gonna hate it. He goes on to say, "I could have easily gotten 7, 8 under today. I just wasn't fully confident with the golf swing and just got a little unlucky in the rough and a couple other places nobody understands. At least if you play professional golf, major championship golf, a lot of it is luck. I can't tell you how many times I hit shots this week into bad lies and good lies and played out like 50-50 this week. I caught the bad lies on the back 9 today." Shut your face. You buffoon. He's
the only person. He's the only person all weekend who didn't hit the shot that they were looking for. Everybody else hit every single shot they wanted, and they still shot +12. Like, what do you mean?
Well, let's not remember, he could have easily gotten 7 or 8 under today.
The best was -4. Come
easily.
on. Like,
easily. No, it's easy for him. Remember, because he's a mammoth, I guess. I don't know.
He is the most infuriating human being on the face of this planet, and I hate every second that he speaks.
It's really bad. It's really you gotta stop talking, dude. You gotta stop talking.
He solidified me hating him on, I think it was Thursday. Brooks was doing a post-round interview. Did you see this?
No.
Brooks was doing a post-round interview.
Oh, when he did the
yeah. And he comes in the background and he jumps and is all obnoxious. Like, don't wave the white flag in this fight and then keep going. If you wave that white flag and you don't do anything, we're fine. We got no problems. But you do that after saying, he hurt my feelings. I don't want to play anymore. Like, get out of here. Take it like a man. If you want to be a part of this, be a part of this. Let him get you back, because he will get you back after seeing that.
Oh, he will
get you back.
Absolutely.
And the fans will most definitely get you back. And let me tell you this, security's not going to kick out thousands of people when they start chanting "Go Brooksy."
Yep.
Because they physically can't.
Yeah, he's literally turning the golf world on him. I hope he realizes this. He's turning everybody against him with dumb quotes like this. Don't ever say, ever, after a U.S. Open final round where you shot a +6, by the way, a 44 is what you shot, and go ahead and say, I could have easily gotten 7, 8 under today. No.
You're telling me that because you got a few bad breaks, you shot 13 strokes higher than you think you could have? There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
That's not how that works.
That's not.
This is not how it works. Man, that call from a couple of episodes ago where I was on the Bryson train, I have actually planted C4 on that train, and I blew it up. Blew up the whole thing. The train no longer exists. For those of you that want to get on the train, sorry, it's gone.
I don't know that there's anybody in the world that supports him anymore. I really don't.
And if there is, I want them to come on this very podcast and attempt to explain to us why.
Do you think when Bryson posts these things, it's him, or do you think it's like his publicist or something? Because
this was
obviously a part of what?
This was a direct quote. He said this with his mouth.
Oh, okay. I don't understand. Like
this was his own brain thought that he spoke into the world.
I don't know if he has those. I don't know if he has brain thoughts.
I don't know if he does either.
I get with the whole like player whatever it's called where they can get $8 million at the end of the year. I get with that thing coming out, obviously people are going to try harder. And maybe Bryson's just doing exactly what he needs to win that, because he's drawing as much attention to the game of golf as you possibly can at this point. So I mean, as much as I hate the guy, he's in the lead right now as far as winning that award. Maybe that's what he's going for. Maybe after this season, he'll like kind of calm down a little bit if he wins it. I mean, I'm sure it's going to continue, so he'll probably want to keep going with it. But like, I just don't understand where in a normal person's brain any of what he says or does makes sense.
Well, he's not a normal person. He's a robot who doesn't quite understand human interaction.
I don't think he does. I really don't.
And as far as that incentive program they have going, there is a caveat where I believe in order for the content to be considered, it has to be created by you. So it would have to be something he posted or he was in partnership with. So that's why I'm arguing that Brooks would be in the lead with what he did with Michelob Ultra.
Okay, that's fair then.
That's my rebuttal to that.
I did not know that was part of it.
Because if you think about it, a golfer could have like a really big golfer could have like a scandal or something like that, and they're in the news for the next 3 months.
Yeah,
that's not something they created, but eyes are on that person.
That's fair.
I think that's why the caveat exists.
That's actually a really good caveat. Go PGA Tour. We finally did something right.
Yeah, right. Something finally.
Except for the fact that they didn't make what's his name play his ball from the tree. That was also
I was just about to get into that. We're on tonight, buddy. Yeah, speaking of things not going super right. Poor Mackenzie Hughes. Going into Sunday, he was actually he was actually 5 under.
Oh, he was tied for the lead, right?
He was tied for the lead. He was 5 under going into Sunday. And things weren't going too hot for his round. And then on the par 3 11th, he shoots a shot that, just to let you know how it went, it knocked off the cart path and then flew back up into a tree and never came back down. It says here fans immediately pointed to something lodged in between 2 branches, and NBC's cameras quickly confirmed the worst possible scenario. Hughes' ball did indeed stay there, forcing him to take an unplayable lie and try to get up and down for bogey. He couldn't do it, and the double bogey saw him tumble down a crowded leaderboard and essentially end his chances of winning the U.S. Open. That sucks. Yes, that is awful luck.
There's something in every sport that can be done to make the sport better.
Yeah.
Okay. I told you the other week when we were at the Phillies game, the way you can make baseball better, let fans throw foul balls back into play.
Fun fact and make for you, I have something to tell you about something like that after you go through this.
Okay. So that's how you can make baseball better. If a player hits a foul ball, fans can throw the ball back into play and it's a live ball. I think that would make it so much more interesting and so much more fun to watch. Because I'm going to be honest, baseball is a little bit boring right now. And I think it'll get better with the whole sticky substances thing they have going on right now, because there's going to be a lot more hitting, which a lot of people are going to like. Anyway, the way they can make golf better is by putting in the rule that you play it where it lies, no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter.
You got
I don't
Mackenzie
care.
Hughes up in a tree.
That's what I'm saying. It's been done before. I think it was Sergio that did it, right?
Yep.
He played it from the tree before.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should always be a rule. Obviously, with the caveat of being in the water where you physically can't swing a club. Yeah. But like, if it's on grass or on something that's not water, I think it should be play where it lies, because that would just make it so much more interesting.
Completely agree. Now, however, I do have 2 scenarios where I want to ask how you would go about this.
Okay.
First scenario was the one Rory tee shot that ended up in somebody's pocket.
That's fair.
See, that one's a bit hard.
That's fair. I mean, no, you can't hit it out of the pocket. Maybe like the videos that people do where people put the ball on a tee on their mouth. Maybe do it like that. But like with Rory McIlroy hitting it, and it has to be the fan that the ball went in the pocket. Because like that's not gonna happen often, if ever again. Like,
oh my gosh, that'd be so good. And then the other one I wanted to say, because I think it would be cool if they made him do it, was the one Brooks Koepka tee shot that ended up in one of the gators of one of the workers while they were driving. Yes. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
I think it would be really funny to make him take a shot from the gator wherever it was. I think that would have been cool.
I don't think that Bryson should have been able to move his ball this weekend.
Nope.
Did you see that when he ended up next to the case of beer, next to the case of Stella?
I wish so badly that it was a case of Michelob Ultra.
That would have been amazing.
Funniest thing of all time.
That would have been
quite possibly ever.
That would have been headline worthy for sure.
Brooks would have been all over that.
That would have been fantastic.
Brooks would have been like, "This is a reoccurring meme for the next entirety of my lifetime. Thank you for the free advertising."
I don't think you should have been able to move it though. I get it with the rule, like it's an object that's not normally there, whatever. But like, come on, if you make him play that, it's so much better. He's already fallen down in the tournament, because that was, I think it was on 11 that he did that, where he hit it next to that. So like, I don't know. I just think like there's always something that'll make a sport more fun and more entertaining for people to watch. And it's when chaos happens.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of said chaos, we're not a baseball podcast, but we do like baseball. We do follow it. And because that point about, fans throwing balls back into play to make it more interesting has come up a couple times. So I saw this and immediately thought I must talk to Rick about this on the podcast. Are you ready for this?
I am very ready.
So so independent baseball is below the minor leagues, where these players are not in school, but are playing baseball semi-professionally because they're not getting paid and then trying to make it to the big leagues through that way. Okay. Thousands upon thousands of independent league baseball teams and leagues all over the country. One in particular called the Savannah Bananas. Very popular. I mean, very popular on social media.
That's my.
I mean, these guys wear kilts while playing baseball. It's hysterical. It's hysterical. It gets better. So the Savannah Bananas somehow got their independent league to agree when they're in their home ballpark, baseball is going to be played by what they call banana ball rules. Here we go. So to fix the pace of play problem, games are limited to 2 hours. If you have not reached 9 innings by 2 hours, the game is over. Final score.
Interesting.
Mound visits are prohibited. You cannot visit the mound. If a fan catches a foul ball, it's an out.
I love that.
It's an out. And for batting rules, if you step out of the batter's box, it's a strike.
Okay.
So no stepping out for 30 seconds, fixing your batting gloves, fixing your shoulder pad, fixing your laces or whatever. If you attempt to bunt, it's an ejection.
That's fantastic.
Hitters can steal first base on a wild pitch at any point in that bat, not just the third strike, any point.
That's awesome.
Don't worry, it gets better. Walks. After the 4th ball, a batter begins sprinting around the bases, and the defense can't do anything until all 9 of its players touch the baseball, producing a mad scramble that usually results in either a double or a rundown.
That's the greatest rule I've ever heard in my life.
There's two more things. It keeps going. Each inning exists as its own entity, a match play style format where scores reset for the top half of each frame. The first team to take 5 innings wins the game.
That's awesome.
And here's the last bit. Tiebreaker. A one-on-one showdown is staged in lieu of extra innings. The field empties, leaving only a pitcher and a catcher and a batter. The pitcher either records a strikeout or has to chase his ball in play and get it before his opponent sprints around the bases and touches home.
Who made these rules? They deserve a raise, and they deserve whatever the best possible job in baseball is you can get, because that is amazing.
By the way, the Savannah Bananas are a entertainment-based franchise where they have teams such as the Dancing Grannies to entertain you in between innings, as well as the Dad Bods, another dancing squad to entertain you between innings.
I'm assuming this is Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia.
Okay,
Savannah
we're going
Bananas,
to Savannah,
baby.
Georgia, and watching one of these games. I have to be there for one of them.
We are now Savannah Bananas podcast, just for all of you who are concerned. Tell me that's not the greatest. Like, this is the stuff that slow sports like golf, maybe give it a shot. Like those small fun. Independent PGA regional tours, like the Philadelphia PGA Tour, stuff like that. Why not?
Try it out.
Let crazy stuff happen, because what you just said, we're going to Savannah, Georgia, that stuff's going to happen. People want to see the crazy stuff. They want to see things like that.
Exactly.
The NFL just hasn't quite gotten it right with the XFL or whatever other stuff that they want to do. But like, tell me, everybody listening to the podcast right now, you do not want to hop in your car, immediately buy tickets to tomorrow night's Savannah Bananas game and drive yourself down to Savannah, Georgia to witness whatever that is.
Plus, I mean, the name alone. Come on.
They are in line to be the only ever in the history of ever independent baseball team to average more fans in attendance in a season than a Major League Baseball team.
No way.
What
team?
The Marlins.
Oh, jeez.
They're beating out the Marlins in attendance.
But I mean, like, that logo is sick. Come on.
Have you seen the kilt jerseys? Look up the kilt jerseys. They're amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah, we have to go.
We got to go.
We're taking a road trip to Georgia.
We got to go. Also, and this is the last Savannah Bananas fact for everybody. They are also in line to be the only ever independent baseball team in the history of ever to have their games and their entire season broadcast on ESPN.
That's fantastic.
I don't know if that's like actually true, if that's going to fall through, but that's the talk on Twitter right now.
I will watch every single game.
That's the talk on Twitter right now.
I will watch every single game. I don't care what I'm doing.
I know. Isn't this incredible? Isn't this great? Could you imagine being the road team, having to read that before you?
How do you prepare for that?
You don't. The tiebreaker. I want to see extra innings so badly because I want to see somebody rope a double and watch the pitcher have to scamper out into the outfield and try and get that ball home before the batter gets there, because that's too good. It's too good. Oh, sorry about that, folks, but honestly, that was super entertaining, so I'm not sorry about it at all.
Back to golf, I guess.
Speaking about entertainment on the golf side, we had a fan run onto the fairway at the U.S. Open, folks. He was able to things that make golf better. He was able to hit 2 golf shots before getting tackled by security. Rich Beam, the 2002 PGA Championship winner, by the way, was the one who captured a video of the man running on the 13th fairway, dropping 2 golf balls, hitting one, then dancing, then hitting another one, then egging on security before attempting to run away. He didn't get too far till security on a golf cart cut him off. Bryson DeChambeau commented on it, said, "I'm just glad an officer clotheslined him. That was fun. Then took him down and got him out like he should be." Sorry, I had to ruin that story for you with the Bryson quote. It
was so good until you brought up the Bryson quote. It was so good. Why do you have to be like this? Let fun things happen.
Oh man, Bryson DeChambeau is the anti-fun. Anything fun, he will find a way to ruin it.
I bet if we started a petition to get Bryson kicked off the PGA Tour, that it would get signed
some
enough.
Signatures.
It would get signed enough. I can almost guarantee it. We should start that.
You know, Bryson DeChambeau, only human being to attend a Savannah Bananas home game and not have fun. Guarantee
Disappointing.
Guarantee it.
A few points on the fan that ran onto the course. Impressive outfit.
Impressive outfit.
Yeah, good for him.
Well thought out. Good for you.
It looked like he flushed the balls that he hit. So
they looked like they were hit
impressive.
Well.
He had a really good swing. Maybe they should consider replacing Bryson with him. He looked pretty athletic from what I could tell. I just think he's an idiot because if he didn't run directly at the cart, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
I really do.
The only thing is, like, I'm looking at some still photos now of him sprinting. He's got great sprinting form. And my man's arms are jacked to the max. This dude is obviously a former athlete or a current athlete with one of the greatest outfits I've ever seen, sporting a gay pride flag as a cape. So love good that. For you, dude. Also wearing a kind of like a very nice crop top with fluff at the top.
Yeah.
And flamingo visor that looks like he got from the Dollar Tree down the street. Honestly, outfit 10 out of 10. Running form 10 out of 10. Escape style. Yeah, that's a big old 0 out of 10.
Yeah,
Don't run directly into the security golf cart. That's not going to help you.
Yeah, not going to be.
You got to be better than that. You got to be better than that. Right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you got to. If you're doing all that, you're taunting them, you can't run right into them.
Yeah. And speaking of being better, Nelly Korda is just better than the entirety of the LPGA as she pockets another W at the Blythefield Country Club during the Mayor LPGA Classic, winning with a grand total of 25 under to take the trophy. She dominated that golf course. And it was, I mean, she just hits incredible shots. For those of you that don't follow the LPGA Instagram, highly suggest going on there because some of the shots she was making were incredible. There was one from the sand that she holed out. Literally, I have no chance of ever making a shot like that in my life, unless it is luck based. And they were incredible shots by Nelly to go 25 under in a weekend tournament. So good for her.
Yeah. Good for her.
And obviously we have the Women's PGA Championship this coming week. So you guys got to watch that at the Highlands course. I believe it's the highest purse for the LPGA season, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about right.
At 4.3 million. I think that's about right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so the field for that hasn't been announced yet, but I'd assume both Korda sisters, your Say Young Kims, the Elia Ko's, all of them, they're probably going to be there because it is the largest purse during the LPGA season. So that's going to be cool golf to watch, especially if you plan on only kind of tuning in to the next stop on the PGA Tour, which is the Travelers Championship on Golf Network and CBS this coming weekend. Let's take a look at the power rankings, shall we? Do you have those pulled up there, Rick, buddy?
I do not. I'm working on it right now.
All right, all good.
I will definitely be tuning in to the Travelers. I very much enjoy the Travelers Championship.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that enjoy playing the Travelers. Notable names being DJ, Bubba Watson, and Bryson. But also it's a good mix of unknown guys who are known but just can't seem to get that elusive win, and also your bigger names. Like, for example, Abraham Answers ranked 11th in the power rankings. He's right there. He's about to break through, and this might be a tournament where he could do it. So right now, the power rankings, the top 5 are as follows. Patrick Cantlay, the number 5 spot, FedEx Cup points leader. This is the 10-year anniversary of a second round 60 as an amateur. Since he's 3 for 5 with 3 top 15s, all since 2018, and won earlier this month at Muirfield Village. Number 4, This was kind of an interesting name, but the explanation does make sense. Kevin Streelman, the number 2 in all-time earnings, was a runner-up last year. His walk-off run on 7 birdies for a one-stroke title in 2014 is to this day incredibly legendary, and 4 straight top 20s upon arrival with a T15 at Torrey Pines. Kevin Streelman's kind of catching fire here lately.
Number 2 in all-time earnings.
All-time earnings, Kevin Streelman.
That's insane.
He's been playing golf for a very long time.
This is true.
A very long time. Somebody who's been playing golf for a little bit of less time, but still probably up there in the career earnings. Dustin Johnson coming in at number 3, seeking to successfully defend a title for just the second time in his career when he defended the 2010 Pebble Beach champion. Doesn't need to wield the driver as often. Chased a T10 at Congaree, thank you. At Congaree with a T19 at Torrey Pines. So not on fire, DJ, but
showed some signs this past week.
He's got
wasn't playing great. Wasn't playing great up until this past week, and then he showed some signs. He obviously didn't play as well as he would have hoped to. He probably could have gone 7 or 8 under. But
he's got life in him. He does. Coming in at number 2, to the chagrin of Rick Landis, Bryson DeChambeau should turn the page quickly after a late tumble at Torrey Pines T26. Since his Travelers debut in 2016, he's 5 for 5 with top 10s in 2018, 2019, and 2020, and a scoring average of 67.7. That's not bad. I can't argue with the stats there. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
But I'm more excited to talk about who's ranked number 1 in the power rankings right now. Bubba Watson, who was my outside pick to win the U.S. Open, and it kind of looked promising there for a little bit.
Yeah.
All-time earnings leader at the tournament with 3 wins and a T2 among 8 top 25s. His margin at $2.08 million over Kevin Streelman in second is the same as Streelman's over the next 60. Bubba Watson. Can he get the W?
I am immediately less excited for this tournament, seeing that Brooks Koepka did not even make the top 15 of the power rankings, and Patrick Reed and Bryson DeChambeau are both in the top 15, having done absolutely nothing.
These guys don't know. And Ricky Fowler, number 14, by the way,
how is Ricky in it and Brooks is not? I don't understand.
Just really want to drive the dagger in there a little bit farther.
I mean, like, I don't hate Ricky as a person. He's a great guy. He makes too many commercials, but
also a new dad.
But yeah, that was out of nowhere.
Out of absolutely nowhere.
I just don't understand how Brooks is not in the top 15 with these guys that have not been playing nearly as well. I mean, whatever.
There's nothing to understand. There's nothing to understand. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm not going to keep hounding everybody with my Brooks Koepka fandom. I will be seeing him hopefully in August, when we go to the BMW Championship.
Going to the Beamer.
I have the best girlfriend ever. Gina, for my birthday, got tickets to the BMW Championship, so we will be there on Saturday, August 28th, watching the BMW Championship, taking pictures, taking videos, watching everything go down, and taking you guys along for the ride with us.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, but I am ecstatic. And August is going to be a great month of golf for our podcast.
Yes.
The beginning of August or the end of July, you have the golf weekend, correct?
Yes, I do.
And then I'm going to Disney the second week of August, which I will be golfing 3 times there with Tommy from Hack Across America. And then in 2 weeks after that, we have the BMW Championship. So it's going to be amazing. And I'm super excited for it.
Content galore. I do want to say now, give us time, though, with 3 back-to-back, probably very long videos. They're not going to come out immediately because there's work that Rick and I are going to want to put into each. So,
do we have an update on the first round of the RBGA?
Yeah, I am about halfway through that.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah. The 2 podcast thing is it's a lot. It's a lot. However, speaking of this podcast, we got the favorite portion for us and our fans coming right now, and that would be the 2 Man Skramble. We got a couple of questions here. Rick, would you like to start with the first one that we got in response to our Instagram story? Oh my goodness.
I would be more than happy to do so. Let me just bring it up here real quick. All right, question being, if you could only play with one brand of ball for the rest of your life, which would you pick?
Vice.
Okay.
I'm a big Vice guy.
You're
I
a
feel like
big Vice
everybody
guy.
who golfs with me knows that.
I have never used Vice, so
it's just the diversity of the golf balls that you can use, and also you can like switch it up based on how your game's going at that time and place. So I like the diversity in golf ball, and they help you choose the golf ball that's right for your current game with their ball recommender on their website. So that's why I prefer them.
We are not sponsored by Vice, even
we're not sponsored, but we should be.
We should be. Yeah, I think I'm a little torn between Callaway and Strixon because I love Strixon right now, but I just feel like Callaway is timeless.
It is.
And I do enjoy shooting Chrome Softs. They do feel very nice. As far as like top balls go, there's like obviously the TaylorMades. There's the Callaway Chrome Softs. There's the Strixon Q Stars. There's Titleist Pro V1, obviously. Yeah. I think out of all of the like top golf balls that people use, Callaway Chrome Softs are probably one of my favorites. They just feel really smooth, and they're fun to hit for sure.
They are. I don't know if it's that
neon red one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that hexagon technology they have there instead of the circular dimples, but whatever it is, it works for me.
It's just fun.
It is. I also enjoy the Chrome Softs. That's my number 2. If like they had, if you had to go for the big brands, that's my number 1.
Yeah.
And then moving into question numero 2. What is your favorite post-round meal there, Rick, buddy?
I think I eat something different after every round. If I was to be able to just eat whatever I wanted, I would probably just get a buffalo chicken stromboli because that's like one of my favorite things on the planet as far as food goes.
Yeah, you could house one of those.
So good. Yeah. So just any kind of stromboli is
delicious. Literally any stromboli is good.
But buffalo chicken stromboli is top notch. My man Guido in the top 5 this week would
Guido.
We didn't mention that. There's an Italian golfer who was T4 this week named Guido.
First name Guido.
I just love that. That's just fantastic to me. There's really nothing else to talk about there except for the fact that there's an Italian golfer named Guido, and he was tied for 4th at the U.S. Open.
Steer into the skid, I guess. If people are going to call him one, might as well just give it his name.
Definitely name of the week.
Name of the week by far.
We didn't give the nice round of the week.
Oh no, we did not.
Would you like to? I
would love to. Your nice round of the week, shooting a 69, nice. On Sunday, Brooks Koepka.
Oh yeah,
the Nike man, the Nike myth, the Nike legend.
Brooksy. Yo, did you see his like teal and white shirt that he was wearing?
Yeah, that was fire.
That was fresh.
That was a great.
Nike's been struggling a lot recently, but
they made a comeback this weekend.
Yeah, Bryson's outfits this weekend were fire.
Did you say
Bryson Brooks? We've been talking so much about Bryson today. I can't even.
That's wow.
I don't like that both of their names start with B.
Yeah, we gotta change.
It bothers me.
We gotta change that. Yeah,
we should change Bryson's name.
Yeah, we should.
What should we change it to?
Jackass.
Okay.
I mean, just like Guido, we're just gonna steer into the skid.
There you go.
We're just gonna name you what people are gonna call you. So
have fun with that. I issue my formal apology to Brooks Koepka. I did not mean to disrespect you in that way.
By some act of a higher power, he's gonna hear this audio, and he's gonna message us and be like, "What? Why?"
I hope he sucker punches me when we go to the BMW.
Yeah, that would be great content.
I would not complain at all.
That would be fantastic content. No complaints on my end either. Absolutely not. That's
really?
No, really? Who'd have thought? Oh man, yeah. But yeah. So what do you got on that? So you got the buffalo.
Oh, buffalo chicken stromboli.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm gonna have to go with Wawa. It always it hits the spot. It's the place I go the most after a round, probably.
Yeah.
And it really gets the job done. Hits a bit different after a round too.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether you're sad or happy, it's there for you. And
I can get behind a chicken strip hoagie at Wawa and some mac and cheese and just laying in bed for the night.
Oh yeah,
I can get behind that.
Why would you not be able to get behind that? Would be my follow-up.
That's a good time.
Question number 3. If you could steal the skill and talent from any professional athlete, who and why? And by the way, we are doing this twice because we're going to do a present athlete and a past athlete. So I hand this off to you, my friend.
Present and past athlete. That's a tough one.
It is. It is.
The talent and skill, I guess present athlete. That's tough. I'm going to go Steph Curry.
I can get behind that.
And my reasoning
behind that.
My reasoning is he's a stud at golf for one. And he's also an amazing basketball player. Not that I really care too much for basketball, but the fact that you get the best of both worlds, I'm there for it.
Yeah. Agreed. For my present day athlete, I'm going with the Jersey boy, Mike Trout.
That's fair.
Not only is he arguably the best player to ever play baseball ever.
Oh, ever? Okay. I thought you were gonna say like now, and I was like, I don't know if that's arguable, really.
I'm putting the moniker on that. But I'm assuming everybody listening to this podcast has probably seen the video of Mike Trout absolutely blasting a ball out of the confines of a Topgolf. And if you haven't seen it, look it up because that ball hasn't landed yet. It's actually kind of within Earth's orbit right now. It's about 2 years away from coming back down and actually destroying the planet Earth. So get ready for that. But I'm going Mike Trout for present athlete.
There you go.
My past athlete, that's when it gets a lot harder because you obviously have the catalog of all athletes to ever do anything.
Yeah.
And just to keep it tailored to golf and then also incredible athleticism, I'm going to go Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I'm going to go MJ because he's known as an incredible golfer and also is arguably the best basketball player to ever live. So
yeah, no, that's completely fair.
Yeah. So just to keep it a little bit, still a little tailored to golf, I'm going to go with MJ.
Okay. I can get behind that.
So what do you got?
I'm going to go with another two-sport athlete because I hate two-sport athletes for the reason that I am a zero-sport athlete.
I can't be good at one thing. You're good at two.
They have so many of them. I'm going to go with Bo Jackson.
As soon as you said two-sport athlete, I was like,
it's
got to be Bo. You don't
Football
know Bo.
And baseball? Come on.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Great combo.
To be an all-star in both too.
That's a great combo. I'm here for it.
It sucks that he had to play for the Kansas City Royals. Whatever. Is what it is.
He was still great. So
he's still incredible.
I'm gonna go Bo Jackson for sure.
It's not even that he just was a two-sport athlete because plenty of those exist in the world. It's the fact that he was an all-star at the professional level in both.
Yeah.
That's what blows my mind.
That's tough. That's tough to do.
Just to be an all-star in one is tough to do. To be in the Pro Bowl and the All-Star game in the same season in two different professional sports, that's pure insanity.
Save some for the rest of us.
Save some for the rest of us. I'm actually, yes, I am going to actually blame Bo Jackson for stealing all of my athletic ability. I will be suing him in the coming future for damages emotionally and financially. So stay tuned for that.
That should go well for you.
Oh, man. And the last question we got for the two-man scramble. Would you rather play golf with Bryson DeChambeau or Patrick Reed? And
Patrick Reed.
Can't say neither.
Patrick
Wow. Didn't even let me finish the question.
I would not make it through a round with Bryson. There's not a chance in the world.
Okay. Here's my reasoning as to why I want to golf with Bryson. Here's my reasoning. So I'm going to constantly have a mic on me that he's not going to see. He's not going to know I have a mic on me, but it's recording the entire round. And I'm going to be with him the entire round. And I'm going to ask targeted questions that our listeners would supply me to get the funniest answers out of Bryson. And I mean funny in the way where he's being 1000% serious, but what he's saying is so stupid that we can make an entire episode about it. So
That's fair.
That's my reasoning for golfing with Bryson. Not because I would enjoy it, but because the amount of content you could pull from that man without even trying is endless.
Yeah, no, I get that. I physically don't know that I'd be able to make it through a round with him at the moment.
I don't know.
Come back to me in a few weeks and ask this question, I might have a completely different answer. But at the moment, Patrick Reed, honestly, like from what I've seen, isn't a horrible guy. Like he's actually a pretty nice dude. I just like he's one of those people that like he has a punchable face, and I just don't really like him that much.
And that sucks. When you got a punchable face and like a horrible wife.
And I'll I'll admit, he has literally given me almost no reasons to hate him besides the fact that he cheats sometimes, which is a pretty good reason. But like besides that,
decent reason.
Besides that, nothing. Like Bryson gives us something literally every week now to hate him. Patrick Reed's kind of just chilling. So I think I could make it through a round with Patrick Reed. And I honestly don't think he would be that horrible to actually golf with. But I don't know that I would physically be able to make it through a round with Bryson, especially if we're on the back nine and he shoots +4 on a hole. And he's like, well, I could have shot -7 on the day, but I didn't just get as many breaks as I could have gotten. I would just jump into the nearest lake at that point and not surface.
Still, it has to be one of the funniest things I have come across.
I don't know how you think that is okay to say as a professional.
It's so not okay.
People are out here grinding and shooting -4, and you're saying that if you just played how you normally would be able to play, that you'd be shooting 8 under.
No, you said easily.
That's what I'm saying.
Make sure you mention that. Easily.
That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that you're saying that if you were like on top of your game, playing the best that you could possibly play, you're somehow shooting 18 under par. Get out of here. Like, are you shooting 18 strokes better than what you actually should? Get out of here. Like, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that on a round. That's just not what's going to happen.
I think I could handle it just enough to make it through the entire round. I think it's just because I have just like a smidgen less hatred for Bryson DeChambeau than you do. That's why I think I can make it. But that's the best of both worlds. You're going to get whatever content you can pull out of Patrick.
We get double content.
And we get double the content. That's 2 episodes right there. So Bryson and Patrick, make our lives easy and let us golf with you so that we can create content.
Make us like you.
On your behalf. Make us like you. Make that happen.
Do that. Make us like you.
And you, the listener, make us like you. And follow us on Instagram at @FromTheTips_pod. And that should do it.
No, I have one more question for you.
Oh, you do have one more question.
Just because my brain's been all over the place all day.
Love that.
Are you ready for it?
Born ready.
Okay. Not golf related at all, because half of the stuff that goes into my brain is just random as all get out.
It's the beauty of the show.
If you were pinned in a 1v1 fight and you had to choose between fighting a Velociraptor or a Tyrannosaurus Rex, what are you picking?
Oh, T-Rex 10 times out of 10, honestly.
Why is that?
So they're much bigger, which it doesn't always make them slower. But they got big strides, but there's got to be a weak point underneath them where I could at least attempt to get to and kind of stay out of their eye line or whatever. Okay. Velociraptors are very fast and very efficient at killing things that run.
That's fair.
And actually things that don't run either. They're very good at killing them.
Which
as well.
I don't.
Which I don't do either. Run or stay still for long periods of time. So I'm thinking I have, as much as it's not a good shot by any means, I think I have the better shot at being able to live through the T-Rex experience than the Velociraptor experience.
Okay.
What about you? Well, who are you going for?
T-Rex, 100%.
You as well? Okay.
No, for a completely different reason. I'm dying either way, and I think T-Rex would be quicker.
Oh, you're just not even giving yourself a chance.
I think I would feel less with a T-Rex, so I'm just going T-Rex. Get it over with.
At least I gave myself a shot here.
0% chance I survive a Velociraptor. I can't run fast, and I just don't know that I'd be able to handle that.
I feel like
I don't think they can cut very well though, so maybe I'll try to like put some zigzag moves on them, see what happens.
Yeah, but even with the zigzag moves, they just run faster in a straight line. So eventually, zigzag all you want, they're going to catch up to you.
Yeah. T-Rex. It'd just be quicker.
T-Rex is going to be faster. Get it over with,
steps on me, it eats me, it hits me with its tail. Anyway, like I'm dying. Either way, I'd rather just have it be quick and painless than get ripped apart by a velociraptor.
That is true. That is true. All right. I really appreciate that ending question. That was really good. All right. That should do it for this episode of From the Tips. Again, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for being on this glorious ride with us through, I believe we're at 25 episodes now.
Something like that.
If I'm not mistaken, let me take a look. I know we're in the mid-20s, and I know that we're past 600 listens for all of our podcast episodes. And guys, seriously, it's incredible. We thank you so much for doing it. However, just do the simplest thing you could do. Just follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Just hit the follow button on Instagram. You could block our content. Just give us the follow.
Give us the follow. And if you
and
feel
actually
so
our
inclined,
content's pretty funny.
If you feel so inclined, share it.
Share it with your friends. It's pretty good stuff. We're pretty funny people. It is also episode 24. So I was wrong, which means I must go punish myself by standing outside and waiting to be hit by lightning. Good night, everyone, and we will see you next week.
See you guys later.